Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this card making project. In today's episode we're going to be using the Feline card toppers kit from Anna Griffin and lots of other Anna Griffin goodies as well to go with it. We're going to actually create a shaker card, and it's a great idea for anybody who got the shaker card upsell kit from Anna and wants to make something just that little bit different. Everything I do use I shall put in a detailed list on my blog, so please be sure to check that out, because there's always all the item details, the extra items that I use, the adhesives that I use. I include links as well if I can, and then there's also lots of photos. I take photos of the inside as well as the outside. You don't have to subscribe to my blog, so you can dip in and out when you feel like it. It would be great if you subscribe to me on YouTube. That would be awesome. But you don't have to on my blog. If you've ever got any comments or anything to say, I forgot to say this on Monday actually, say it on Facebook or on my blog where I can get back to you, because I can't always get back to you on YouTube. So, and for any new viewers, I've had really bad flu and I don't always sound like this. So this is just my flu voice. But I'm a lot better, and thanks for your messages as well, everyone, because it's been great that, you know, you've been fighting my corner and sending me your well wishes and your prayers, etc. Okay, so what we're going to need to make this card is a 7x5" ivory card base. Now, we started on Monday with the same, a card base just as a blank ivory one, and we're going to use the components that are in the Feline card kit today, with other items, as I say. If I forget to mention anything, please do check my blog, because old age sometimes sets in and I will forget what something's from, or maybe I haven't added it to my list. So always check the blog just to be on the safe side. So this is our blank ivory card. I'm going to use my bone folder from the Anna Griffin tool set, and I'm just going to make sure I've got a nice sharp crease along the edge. And then I'm going to create the inside. And before I forget, because again I did on Monday, I started stamping handmade by on the back of my cards and adding my name. Now this is a stamp from the floral tags and labels set from Anna from quite a while ago. However, she's just had, I think it was last year, for my US friends, there was a set of handmade stamps. Don't forget to add, even if you haven't got a stamp, just add your name on the back, made by, you know, whoever, because it's nice for the recipient to know who's created the card, and, you know, I think it just gives that extra little bit of a personal touch. Now for the inside of the card, the inside is really easy, and I'm starting off using one of the blank bases from the actual Feline kit. Now all I've done is, because the blank bases are 7x5" in size, all I've done is just trimmed it slightly so that it gives a border around the edge, but it actually fills very nearly the inside of the card. I've not stamped on it, I've not punched around the edges or anything. I've just simply trimmed it down slightly just to get that neat border around the edge. Now on the front of the card we're going to be using the new spring plaid cardstock from Anna. So I used one of the 7x5 layers that comes in the kit, and this was actually a bit that I trimmed off because I wanted it slightly smaller. And what I've done is I've trimmed it to fit the inside of the shape on the layer. And all I've done is I trimmed it, and then I've used the rounded corner punch that's not from Anna, it's just a general rounded corner punch, just to round the corners so that it sits nicely in the middle of our shape in the card. And I've just popped that down, it had flat tape on it. Now next I've taken one of the sentiments that's actually in the Feline card topper kit, and I've peeled the top of it away from the base. They're all actually on 3D foam. Now this is the one that we're going to use on the front, but I've peeled very carefully just the actual sentiment away, and then I've taken it through my Xyron machine for the adhesive on the back, and I'm simply going to add that in the centre of our card for our sentiment. And it says, "Sending love and furry hugs." How cute is that? So I can press that down, and you've got enough room for your message, your to and your from. A nice simple idea. Now you can take it to the next step. If you wanted to cut around the side of the sentiment on the plaid so it would all fit flush, you could do that. But I'm quite happy just to put the sentiment on top of the strip of the plaid. So now we can turn our attention to the front of the card. Again, I'm going to take my bone folder to make sure I've still got that nice sharp crease along the edge. And the first thing I'm going to do is take one of Anna's metallic layers that I've just slightly trimmed because they come in 7 by 5 inches in size, and I've just taken 1/4 of an inch away from it to make it sit within the actual card itself. I've got double-sided tape on the back of it. Now, Anna also has the pink metallic cardstock in the 12 by 12, so that's quite handy. And if, like me, you like a lot of the pink, then that's a good buy, is that one. Okay, so that's our pink layer on the back. Next, we need to add our shaker section. Now, I mentioned before that Anna had an upsell kit, which is basically an extra kit giving you refills of different things. And in the upsell kit for the shakers were some blank pockets. So you could fill the pockets with whatever you had, or if you managed to get the confetti dies from Anna, you could die cut different shapes and then fill the pockets with those. So what I've done is I've filled the pocket with not only sequins, but hearts from the confetti heart die, and I've just die cut them in the same cardstock as the metallic that we've just used. And then you seal the bag up, and they're in there, and they're going to create the shaker. Now you actually get tape on it on 3 sides, and all you do is peel the tape away and then add the actual shaker to the card. So I've added the last little bit of red because that's where I sealed the bag, and I'm going to pop that just in the centre of our card like that. So we've got that little bit of shape there. Next, I've taken, this is where the spring plaiders come in. I've taken one of the 7 by 5 layers, I've trimmed it down, and then I've cut out using a craft knife the centre of the squares. Now I've got a little bit of tape on the back of this just to hold it in place, just between some of, can you see that? Just between some of the crosses. And I'm just going to pop that over the centre of our shaker. So you can see that behind there. Next, I've taken one of Anna's paisley papers, and I've used rectangle dies. Now I've got to be honest, these were the Spellbinders rectangles. They're just the basic rectangles to cut 7 by 5 and lower. And there's a set A and a set B, and you can cut out the rectangles and then the centres, etc. Very handy set. And I've used them on so many different projects for bases, etc. So I've cut out what looks like a frame, and it measures just over probably 1.25 inches. And I've used one of Anna's paisley papers. I've got 3D foam on the back of it, and I'm going to position this over our layers that's already on the card, and I'm going to pop that down. Hopefully I've got it quite straight. Press that down, and you can see you've got that shaker section in the middle, and the wide frame-like layer covers the edges of the shaker, so that neatens that little bit up. Our next layer is from the Feline card topper set, and I've cut down the actual frame, one of the layers that there is in there, as a frame, and it will go over the layer previously, but you see how I've cut it smaller and it creates a frame. It's on 3D foam and it gives the effect of a shadow layer. So I can press that down. Next, I've got my Pussycat in a shoe. Now, the die cuts in the Feline, the card topper set are the same. They're not the same design, but the same style as in the K9s. And what I'm meaning by that is they have numbers on the back, and then you build number by number. Obviously, I've picked the only ones in the set that probably haven't got a number, or I've put my little stickers over it, my 3D foam. But you simply go by layer, and then you build up the pattern. I've got the rose that's got 3D foam on it, and you just simply position that over the previous layer. Now I'm going to add the shoe just in this corner, and because I don't want to cover too much of the shaker, so we'll add the shoe there. Now in this corner I've used Anna's bow set, and there's like a swinging bow, and I've used double-sided paisley cardstock paper again. I've made the bow up and made long tails, and I've slightly curled the bow tails. 3D foam on the back, and I'm going to add that just to the side of the card, letting the bow tails swing over the shaker. And then I've got a sentiment from the kit, and these are stickers, so you simply peel the back of them away. And this says, "Cats leave paw prints on our hearts." How nice is that? And I'm going to add the sentiment in the middle of the bow, like so. So just the bow flaps stick out a little bit, and we've still got the bow tails at the bottom. And that is our card finished. We've got the interest of the shaker, we've got our gorgeous little pussycat, we've got those gorgeous colours. It does shake, you can see everything moving about there. The inside matches perfectly with the plaid and the pinks of the front. Stands up nicely. Now I forgot to do this on Friday actually with the layers. Monday. We've got quite a few layers, but that would still fit in a normal envelope. You might want to position your bow slightly more on the card than off the card. Mine isn't going in an envelope, so I can go off the page, so to speak. But what a great card, so pretty, and definitely a mantelpiece pleaser with the way that looks, especially with those sequins in the centre. I do hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed this week using the K9 and the Feline card toppers. Next week, starting on Monday, I think I said it was the 5th actually, but it's Monday the 4th. I've got a 5-day special coming up, and I'd really like you to be able to join me every day, Monday to Friday next week, because we're going to be thinking outside the box with just one die set from Anna, and we're going to use it in 5 different ways. So that's really fun and very exciting to be able to think how versatile one die set actually is. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching, for putting up with me with my bad voice, and I shall see you next time.